Hey guys.
What's up guys? Welcome back.
So, we're here to talk strategy and tips for CrossFit Open 18.1. So, we got some new stuff and it's a long workout. This is a 20-minute AMRAP. We have 8 toes to bar, 10 dumbbell hang power cleans, 50 pounds for the men, 35 for the women, and we have 14 calorie row for the men, 12 for the women.
Clean and jerk.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a hang power clean and shoulder to overhead.
Yeah. So biggest thing there is we're making sure to deadlift that dumbbell first and then going into that clean. We don't want to go straight into that clean and go start gaining no reps.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will start covering some tips for the specific movements. We're going to start with toes to bar. So one thing that's big in this workout is your grip. We want to manage your grip as much as we possibly can. One way to do that is to go through the full range of motion in the toe to bar so that you're not muscling the movement up. By full range, I just mean get your head all the way through, shoulders open under the bar, feet together behind the bar with a tight core, and then don't rush getting into that hollow position and getting away from the bar before you get your toes up. That's going to benefit you over the course of this workout. Another thing for the toes to bar, if you know they're not a strength for you, go ahead and break them up right away, because that's going to benefit you over the course. If you know you're going to have to break them up eventually, you might want to just go with 4s right out of the gate.
Sure. And then going through the dumbbell movement, like I said, we are needing to deadlift that dumbbell up first and then going into that first hang clean, and then try and give your grip a little bit of a relax on this going into the jerk, okay? Yeah. We don't need to hold on to that dumbbell super hard, especially with the toe to bar and the rower involved as well. And then with the passing, okay? If the passing of the dumbbell isn't a comfortable thing for you at this time, I actually found that coming down to the shoulders and then doing my transition very close worked very well. If you're more of a competitive athlete, I think as long as you make sure that you're passing that dumbbell below eye level and then going right into that next rep, that's going to be your fastest option.
Definitely. And like you said, if you haven't practiced that too much, you still want to pass it over in some capacity, even if it's bringing it all the way down and then just swapping hands.
Yeah.
Because if you go down to the ground, you're going to have to do that deadlift again, and you're just adding extra repetitions.
Wasting some time there.
Yep. So next, we have the row. First thing on the row, don't grab that handle really hard. You might just want to go thumbs over and kind of hook the handle as opposed to gripping it hard and really pulling hard with your arms.
Another place that you can give those forearms and hands a little rest.
Yep. And then get a quick start on it. Mm-hmm. I like to get my feet in. Don't strap in. You shouldn't strap in for the entire workout. It's only 12 or 14 calorie row, and take 2 or 3 shorter pulls before you fully extend. Get that flywheel going so you can accumulate some calories quickly. It's going to help you a lot over the course of 8 to 12 rounds.
Yeah, I think my strategy going in was just to, as soon as I put my foot on got one foot under the strap and on the pedal, and that's when I gave my first pull, and then it gave me a little time to scoot the other one in, and by second 4 or 5, I was already up to my pace. I think a solid pace on this would be about 1,000 calories.
Yeah, depending on the athlete, absolutely. I think if you're trying to complete over 10 rounds, you need to be at about 1,000 calories per hour pace.
Yeah. And so based on that, John, let's get into a little pacing here.
Yeah, okay. So if your intention is to win the CrossFit Games in 2018, you should complete the first round in 1 minute and 20.
That's fast.
Yeah.
That's real fast.
If not, you need to slow down. So we're
that puts you on track for 15 rounds, by the way, which has not been reached yet.
No, I don't. At the time of this video,
yes,
it has
potentially.
Not been
we still got a couple days.
It looks like that would win the women's side and possibly the men's as well. Mm-hmm. The men are getting a little bit farther, but I don't think 15 rounds has been reached. So we will put a pacing chart in the bottom of this video that has your specific time for each round. So if you want to do 8 rounds, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, all the way to 15 rounds. And we really think that you should practice a few rounds as slow as you need to go. And think about the workout this way, because a lot of people are going to be going out really fast. We saw many athletes do that yesterday and today. And that's really going to spike your heart rate and hamper your total reps.
I think the environment has something to play there too. I know this is the first workout of the CrossFit Open, and so we've had a year of time to like really get excited about this, plus the energy in the gym, and so that can play into some athletes coming out on this workout a little too fast. So make sure that you have that pacing in mind and that you're watching that clock and kind of sticking to your game plan as you're going through.
Yep, I think that's the biggest part of this workout. So next, let's talk about equipment. Really minimal on equipment for this one. We're going to look at some gymnastic wraps. This could be a good option for most people. It is a skill to use these, so if you haven't used them, maybe throw them on, see how they go. You can always take them off. But if you are super familiar with them, just make sure that you're still putting shock on top of the wrap, under the wrap, and that you're still taking care of your hands. These aren't a license to not take care of your calluses. They still will tear while you're wearing gymnastic wraps if you have edges around them. So make sure you get a pumice stone or razor blade, whatever you like to use, and take care of those hands before they tear.
Absolutely.
You can also tape the bar if you want to go without the wraps, but you cannot do both. They clarified that in the rule book this year. And also you should tape your thumbs if you plan on doing hook grip on the dumbbell, which I think is a great idea to help save your grip.
Yeah, absolutely. Biggest thing here is that we do not want to tear during this first workout. I was actually kind of surprised to hear of how many people were tearing on this workout. That wasn't really the problem with me. I ended up going with wrist wraps, and then I kind of chalked my wrist wraps so that way I came off the rower and I just kind of tapped my hands on my wrist so I didn't have to go back to that chalk bucket too many times. And I actually did it without taping or gymnastic straps, and I felt just fine going through.
That's another pro tip. It helps to not have soft hands.
Sure, absolutely.
So,
but don't tear during this workout. Okay, biggest thing there, because we're taking that into 18.2 with us and even potentially further on.
Yeah, it's going to make it pretty hard to train during the week. So, sorry about that. Let's talk about what to do pre-workout, how to warm up for this thing. So we're going to need to warm up your hamstrings a lot. So let's hop on the rower for 500 meters. Not a crazy pace, just a warm-up pace. And then we want to do some kettlebell swings, maybe 3 sets at ascending loads, nothing crazy heavy. Some banded good mornings to really fire up those hamstrings in your core. And then for the dumbbell movement, let's do some overhead carries with either a dumbbell or a kettlebell. And by overhead carry, I just mean lock that bell out, walk down 30 feet and back, and do maybe 3 sets each arm to solidify that locked out position overhead. For the toes to bar, let's do 3 sets of hollow rocks, 5 to 10 reps. We'll do 5 to 7 kip swings for 3 sets on the bar, and then 3 sets of 5 to 7 toes to bar to get that movement warmed up. Finish with a 500 meter row, and then we want to test out a round at the pace that you want to complete, depending on how many rounds you want to complete.
Yeah, absolutely. And then post-workout strategies, biggest thing there is we're going to want to refuel and rehydrate, okay? Big tax on the system, so we got to get some of those key elements back into our body and then start to incorporate motion back into our system. So if you can foam roll right afterwards, that'd be great. I'm sure we're not going to be feeling soreness until the day after. This is probably a workout that we haven't pushed this hard in a long time. So maintaining motion even the next morning, next day, that'd be a great time to, again, start to foam roll, do any sort of soft tissue stuff there, or just like get back on the rower would be a great thing to do too. If you have any like body performance strategies already set up, I am a chiropractor myself, so I'm a little bit more biased towards chiropractic care. So I think that'd be a great place to make sure that you are getting some performance pieces back into your workouts. Other things can be cryotherapy, float, sensory deprivation, or any other soft tissue modalities there. Making sure that we're priming our body going into 18.2. And then one of the other tips, or one of the other topics that we like to bring up at this point is redoing workouts, okay? John, I think you have a great view on redoing workouts.
Yeah, a lot of people say you should never redo them.
I'm one of those people. I think if you are looking forward to regionals or games, then I think this should be a one and done thing. Plus, like, you're not even having to worry about going into that dark place at a second time during the weekend. That just sounds terrible. So if you are kind of looking to do this more competitively, then I think this should be more of a one and done thing.
I kind of disagree with that in some instances, especially for masters and teens. About redoing workouts is your open finish is going to be a fifth of your total score for the masters and teens online qualifier. So it is a big part of them making it to the CrossFit Games.
Sure.
So it's a little different than the individual athletes. So there's some situations there where if you really know that you went out too fast and you can come back and get 10 or so more reps, then it is smart to do it. Also, if you're really recovered, you're young, you're not having any injuries or mobility issues, and you want to go out and work really hard again in a couple days, I think go ahead. Have some fun and do it.
Yeah.
That's all we got for today. We will see you for 18.2. If you're not super stoked on your finish this week, it's okay. It's a 5-week competition.
It is.
Right? We haven't tested your fitness all the way yet, just a couple movements, so you'll have time to shine.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next week for 18.2.
See you soon.